Midweek News, Episode 80, June 12, 2024. Scrcpy, or Scrcpy, is a utility that allows you to mirror and control Android on Linux, macOS, and Windows. Yes, in fact, it is cross-platform. Definitely a handy utility if you're wanting to record your Android phone as part of a video. To use it, you need an Android device with version 5 or newer, considering version 14 is the current version. This is not really a stretch, people. And it also, in the newer versions, allows using your phone as a webcam. For those of you using Android phones out there, it's worth a look. The last time I used it, it was still a command line only utility. I'm not sure that's changed, but hey, we're all techie people here, so why not? Pretty easy to use once you've got the basic format down and you've allowed the permissions to actually have it share. It's worth a look. Nice utility to have around. Kaspersky has released a virus removal tool for Linux systems. Now, whether or not you want to trust Kaspersky, especially considering some of the alleged ties to the Russian government, is completely up to you. This is something that is available for free. Usually you don't have a lot of trouble with viruses and malware on Linux, but you never know. And my use case, if I were to use such a thing, which I wouldn't necessarily use this product, but normally the use case revolves around when sending files to a Windows or Mac user just for their peace of mind that I'm not sending them anything malicious. I do make an effort to try to scan before I send, just as one extra step. But your mileage may vary. I've not actually used this yet. I may try it out for a video at some point. Kdenlive 24.05 helps make videos social media ready. This new version features better audio capture, various aspect ratios, improved performance, and local subtitle translation. Once again, this is available for Linux, macOS, and Windows. Completely free, open source, not a bad video editor. It's not going to take market share from Premiere Pro anytime soon, but it also doesn't have the price tag that Premiere Pro has, or several other options that are out there. Next up, we've got Ubuntu Core 24. This is aimed at Internet of Things, edge, and embedded devices. And this is a fully containerized variant of the 24.04 LTS version. I think this could be interesting in certain use cases for small devices, especially when you get into something that is meant to operate as an appliance and just sort of one of those set and forget things. Installation requires at least 384 megs of RAM, 512 megs with UEFI or UEFI support, and a minimum of 512 megs of storage. And it's available as both Ubuntu server and desktop images. Again, your mileage may vary, but it's one of many options for this space. At long last, Microsoft is finally getting rid of NTLM manager authentication. It's the end of an era. This is something that goes back to the 90s. Rest in peace, NTLM. Rest in peace. Good step forward for Microsoft, as much as that makes me want to throw up in my mouth just a little bit. Debian 13 is changing the temp directory behavior. Yes, it's true. They are finally adopting tempfs to handle temporary files. And you can read more about tempfs, but basically it's an option to allow automatic deletion of things either on reboot or at specified periods of time. Of course, depending on how you, the administrator, configure it. Nobody is ever happy with the defaults. So if you don't like it, change it, and make it work for you. That's why the options are available. All right, next we've got not one but two new distribution releases. We've got Parrot OS 6.1. Yes, this is available both as a home, aka everyday usage distribution, as well as a Kali competitor where they pack in a bunch of security type tools. And I'm going to still continue to maintain that both Parrot and Kali are useful, in my opinion only, for this discovery of tools, because 99% of the time, those same tools can be installed on a vanilla Debian or Ubuntu or whatever your preferred distribution is. If you use Arch, by the way, yes, I'm sure you can get all or almost all of these available to you as well. I'm not an Arch user. Your mileage may vary. Do what makes you happy, right? And there's yet another version update for LibreOffice. This is 24.2.4, patching 72 bugs. And as the subline here says, you're urged to update to this version ASAP. You can dig into the release candidate notes to find out what the updates were for the bugs. And as always, LibreOffice.org to grab a copy of this great Office suite. I've been long standardized on it. Your mileage may vary. For the students out there, don't buy into the hype. If your school says that it requires Microsoft Office, they're blowing smoke up your hind parts. I was told the same thing, but then they went and accepted assignments as PDF documents, and they're not going to check what piece of software generated a PDF. As long as you've got the margins right and the font's correct, go for it. And last but not least, OpenSSH enhances security. There are new configuration options available that promise to mitigate malicious attempts for unauthorized access. Honestly, this sounds a lot to me like what you can already have in an add-on like Fail to Ban. But having something integrated within the software is a nice addition. I will be looking more deeply at this, and it may warrant a video in the near future. And that is going to bring us to the end of episode 80 of Midweek News.